What's going on, everybody? We are in Yazoo City, Mississippi. We're here to visit a witch's grave. We are at historic Glenwood Cemetery, and what a cemetery it is. It is one to behold. Look at this old Glenwood Cemetery. So as you come in the gates, the witch's grave is on up that way. It's a beautiful older cemetery. There's some new plots, but very historic. Once I saw there was a witch buried here, we're on our way to Vicksburg to do some videos with that. And I just had to stop and visit the grave of a witch. Like, how can we not do that, right? So if this is your first time here, welcome. I'll get the ad out of the way and say, I hope you enjoy the content. If you do, please consider like, subscribing, doing all the things. And if this ain't your first time with me, hey, welcome back. Let's go on this adventure together and let's visit a witch's grave, shall we? Nobody knows. I mean, obviously the witch stuff is a little bit of, urban legend. The story goes, right? One late afternoon in 1884, a boy named Joe Duggett was passed by her house on a raft when he heard a terrible, ungodly moan from one of the rooms. So Joe, being a concerned person, he tied his raft up to a cypress branch, ran in the house, and looked through a window. What saw him sent chills down his spine. You know, you gotta love these, the way they doll it up a little bit, right? There was two dead men stretched out on the floor, and an old woman wearing a black dress, cloaked with filth and all kinds of just crap all over her. So Joe, being the good citizen he is, he goes down and gets the sheriff. They go up to the lady's house. They go in there, bust the door down. Nobody's there. There was no dead men. No nothing. They go up in the attic to find two skeletons up there. Now, as always, the wind's blowing, so if you hear a little wind noise, I do apologize. It seems like it follows me everywhere I go. Then from the backyard, they heard the sound of footsteps. They yelled out, "Stop." The old woman took off. Joe later told his grandchildren she looked half ghost and half scarecrow. They followed in hot pursuit, and a few minutes later they came up on a site that Joe remembered so well. He would describe it again for the 1,000th time on his deathbed in 1942. The old woman, running from the law, had been trapped in a patch of quicksand. And so as you come in the gate that we come in, make your way over here, they're pretty open about where it's at. The witch's grave. So before she goes under in the quicksand, she shouts out, "In 20 years I will return and burn this town to the ground." I mean, you know, people say stuff like that, right? That's very common. So the witch is dead, right? They bury the witch over here. They tie chains around the grave. Blah, 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 right? No big deal. Until 20 years later, in 1904, a fire came through Yazoo City and destroyed 200 residences and nearly every business in town. 324 buildings in total. The group of citizens made their way to this very spot that we're at, right here. And as you can see, local legend states that no matter how many times they fix these chains, they're broken. And that's to keep, supposedly to keep the witch in. The original stone has been stolen it was just inscribed TW for the witch. It doesn't look like these have been repaired in quite some time. Maybe they're due for a fixing. But here it is, right here. It says, according to local legend, in 1904, the Witch of Yazoo City broke out of this chain link surrounding her grave and burned down Yazoo City. Writer Willie Morris' classic Good Old Boy brought national renown to this vengeful woman and her shameful deed. And at the bottom it says, in honor of Ray Rogers Sr., sexton 21 years, 74 to 95. So there's the witch's grave in Yazoo City, Mississippi. How about that, huh? Pretty cool little place. So there's the witch's grave. Seems like a very historic cemetery. Normally I try to do a stroll around these things to just see what everything looks like. And there's a couple more at the top of the hill I want to catch before we get out of here. So coming from the witch's grave down there, we come up the hill, and this is how we'll close the video out. Number one, by saying thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, you guys are awesome. To the people that have joined the members channel, you guys are the best. Don't forget, you can always do that. That helps me, that helps me get a cup of coffee or get a lunch. Or, if you pick the larger plan, that helps me get a room, because I don't live anywhere close to these places. But it is fun to go here. But if you can't do that, hey, just watching is good enough, man. I'm not trying to talk you into doing anything. Just watching the videos and liking and doing all the things supports also. Because I know these days and times, it's tough out there. That's why I can't thank you guys enough for letting me do the things that I do. We get to go on these trips together. So yeah, this is it. How crazy, right? Obviously there's nothing in there, but I couldn't help myself. I saw this and I thought, hey, I definitely got to come check this thing out. 1901. Which they may still be on that side, but there's nothing in there. It's like a bunch of sticks, like somebody's going to try to make a burn pile or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. So once again, thank you guys so much for coming along for this ride. I really can't thank you enough for watching and liking, and the support has been awesome, and the comments and everything are great. It really helps the spirits a little bit to come out here and do this stuff. I'm glad you enjoy it, because I enjoy it. So until next time, you never know what you're going to find on the back roads. See you guys later.